first question I wanted to ask you was, and I know you've been kind of talking about this already, but um, the voice of Elvis that you had in the film was terrific. It was incredible, and I'm wondering. I mean, obviously Elvis has been not impersonated, but well, he has been impersonated. But I mean, I suppose on screen, like you've had like Kurt Russell, you've had, Michael Shannon, you've had this huge range of actors. Did you draw on any of that, or was it primarily just the songs and I suppose the interviews that he did, or was it where was your where were you drawing your inspiration from? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I out of curiosity, I watched almost every other performance that an actor had given, just to
Wow.
see sort of what was out there. And but for me, it was stripping all that away and stripping away all the ideas of Elvis and the icon of Elvis or the caricature of Elvis, and really spending time with him. So there's an immense archive of interviews that he gave during his entire life, and those were just absolutely a gold mine for me. And I would listen to him all day long. I'd cut out certain words and I just play them on repeat, and I would say them back, and I'd just be parroting constantly all day. And so that's I did that with the interviews, but also watching him and seeing the architecture of his mouth and how that changed the sound, and also how it changed over the years. His voice changed a lot over the years, and so finding those transitions were vital. And then it was, for him, because there's so many traps that you can fall into. I really wanted it to feel like a real life. Like I wanted it to feel like my life. So a lot of it was me just, basically for 2 years, just speaking in his voice,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that allowed me to then feel like I was moving laterally into the scenes rather than like actions called and suddenly I'm shifting. And because I just knew that would be so drastic that it would be hard for me to possibly switch back and forth, and I might feel like a fraud in those moments. Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of, I mean, I would imagine like 2 years of playing this character. I mean, being in that headspace for that amount of time must have been, and pardon my language, that must have been a fucking head trip.
Yeah, that's
well I mean, I suppose how have you managed it post? I mean, obviously you're doing the press tour or whatever. I mean, do you feel like you've shed him now, or is this something that you're going to carry with you forever? Do you think?
I think I'll definitely carry pieces of it with me forever, in many ways. But it's such it is a wild thing when you're just completely immersed in one thing for 2 years, and then suddenly you're done and you don't quite know what to do with yourself. So yeah, it's been a process, but it's sort of therapeutic in a way now talking about the film, because it's giving me, I was so inside it for a long time. I couldn't talk about it. It was like I couldn't objectify it at all. But now this is nice because I'm able to kind of go, I'm seeing it a little bit more, because I was so close to it first. So this is healthy. You're helping. You're basically my therapist right now.
Baz said that exact same phrase as well. He said this has been like a big long therapy session for him.
Wow, interesting. We haven't talked about that.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. Final question. What is your favorite Elvis song, either to perform or to just to listen to?
Okay, to perform. Ooh, all right. I was gonna say one, but the first one that came to my mind was performing Polk Salad Annie. That I love. His performance of that is so much fun and so energetic and exciting. So I had a lot of fun doing that. I had a lot of fun with Suspicious Minds. That's one of the first that I started working on. So over a year and a half before we shot that I was living with that song. But one of the really fun ones to perform was also Trouble. and because it's Elvis prior to losing his mom, prior to the army, and everybody who was around at that time, they said he was never the same after that, and he had this animalistic quality on stage, and it was like the birth of punk music, you know?
Yeah,
And
big time.
so that moment, and also in our story, that moment is such a rebellious, powerful moment. So getting to see that in the context of the film as well, and this moment of being true to yourself, and then also we didn't have footage from that one, so you have images, and so I'd see an image of him rolling around on the stage, and an image of him grabbing the dog, and an image of him doing this or that, grabbing a girl's face in the audience, or whatever those things are, and then it was then on, you know, then I had the freedom with Baz and with Polly, who was my wonderful movement coach on this, that we could sort of design and create from these images and from inspiration in that way. And it was incredibly liberating performance to do.
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, I'm getting a wrap up. Listen, good luck with Dune 2. I hope you do great with it. I'm really looking forward to see that.
Thank you, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Elvis Presley.
This ain't no nostalgia show. We're gonna do something different.